G'day friends and welcome to another one of my videos. As you can see, the format's a little bit different today. I've moved indoors primarily because it is rainy and cold outside. I actually wanted to take you through a new video format that I'm actually working on. But today I'm using some new toys, and I'll bring you some videos in the future about why I sort of chose these particular devices and how I'm using them. And I'm sure you're going to be pretty pleased with the actual results as I sort of take you through exactly what I'm doing. So today's video is a little bit about another topic, and I thought I'd raise it the attention level on this is because I think I may be the victim of a particular scam on Facebook, and because it revolves around photography, I thought I'd bring it to your attention. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with a marketplace on Facebook, which is a actual place where you can actually buy and sell lots of different sort of items. And I have obviously Facebook on my device, on my phone, and I get feeds. Sometimes it sort of lets me know that an item that I've been searching for in the past is popped up, and am I interested? So anyway, I actually saw a particular camera. It was actually a Canon D 6D Mark II, which is, a reasonably new camera. And as you guys know, I'm looking to test cameras to replace my main camera. And I thought, hey, this camera is not a very popular one, but what I hear, it's really good for, obviously, astrophotography, and it's really good for, time lapses. So I was keen on giving that a go. So anyway, popped up on my thing. And as you can see here, your feed actually gives you all the things that, you may have searched for in the past. And obviously I do a lot of things like photography equipment and things like that. But in the electronics section here, you'll notice that you get more content. So anyway, one of these particular items was the Canon D6D Mark II, sorry, and it was an amazing price. Obviously it was maybe 25 or 30% of the price. Obviously it was used, but the description on the actual camera sort of description here was that everything was okay. So for example, if we look for a particular item, here we go, is a Canon DX. So let's search for something very, very similar. Canon 6D Mark II. There you go. So we've got a few hits here. Anyway, like I said, I sort of went into the device and look at the price. This one is a price with accessories that you'd expect to find. The camera in Australia retails for around $2,000 or $1,800. But let's say this other camera that I saw online was $300. And I thought either this person doesn't know what they're selling, or, there's something dodgy or something, a bit of a scam going on. So I decided to pursue the rabbit down the rabbit hole to see where it led. And I'm not sure if you guys have actually sold anything on this particular marketplace. It's a little bit like, Gumtree or eBay or something like that, where you register your account. So if you notice down here, it's got the price and the description, and you can click on more, and it gives you practically like what do you get with it. This one's pretty vague, but normally you get the description of all the items and the condition that it's in. Now, it also tells you the seller, and it tells you the actual length of time that he's actually been on Facebook. So this guy's been on Facebook for about, let's say 10 years. And the first thing that worried me is that date. Where does the date come from? Because normally it's actually, they're all very similar. So I'm not sure if it's a realistic date. Anyway, so I found the camera part, and then what I did, the first thing I did is send this person a message. Now, when you send this person a message, what happens is that it opens up this message window, right? Now, this message window is not part. Uh, so he's replied to me. He must be by his phone. So anyway, I'll close it down, poor guy. So anyway, like I was saying, it pops up with that chat window. Now, I'm not sure if you guys use chat for your Facebook chatting with your family and friends. Well, I do. But if you have a look, I'm going to open up my chat here. And this chat here is in memory, right? So while you're actually having the discussion with a person, the actual chat remains on there. So you having this, two-way communication with a person. So I went through the communication with the person. They actually started telling me that, it was still available. And I told them that I was interested, what's the condition, and they confirmed everything that actually was being displayed on that particular ad, right? So anyway, on that ad, I actually then decided to say, hey, look, I'm interested in actually buying this piece of equipment. Sounds great. And, I was trying to make some small talk. So what I did is I actually said, hey, how about, I asked them, what did you get instead? What did you upgrade to? And the actual answer was just another Canon. And it wasn't really something suspicious. But it didn't give you much detail. Thinking that, they'd be excited that they actually upgraded to a new camera. Anyway, so I continue with the conversation, and then what happened then is that I decided to go through with the transaction. And I put my money down. I said, hey, yeah, I'll pay this, but can you send it to me? Because although it told me that the vicinity was in Sydney, like it says here, but the person wasn't in Sydney. Actually, they were about 500 kilometers away from Sydney. And so I immediately said, well, since you're up there, can you post it to me? And if you can include the price of the postage. So they said yes. So the person said, okay, we need to exchange IDs in order for this transaction to to take place. So I thought, hey, yeah, that's okay. That's fair enough. The actual person on selling the equipment was a young female. And so I thought, well, she wants to make sure she's dealing with the right person. But the first strange thing that happened was that she said over the chat, let's exchange IDs to make sure that you are legitimate. So I kind of said, okay. And she replicated first. So what she did, she gave me, in that chat that you saw, there was a full copy or photo of this person's passport. It was an Australian passport. It looked legitimate. And I thought, okay, that's great. That's fantastic. And so what I did is I took a copy of my mistake number one, copy of my driver's license. And I said, okay, this is me. Fair enough. So I had my address, had my name and things like that. And then she said, okay, here is the details for my banking, where you can bank it. So I thought, okay, fair enough. It was legitimate bank. It's an Australian bank. I didn't, think anything of it. And what I did is I proceeded to do the transaction. So I went to my internet banking and I paid this person the money, all right? And I'm thinking, fair enough. And then she comes back and says, just confirming your address. So I typed in my address on the thing, so to double check, and obviously my address was on the driver's license, so she would have had it anyway. So I typed all the details, and she said, "Fine, perfect. I'll post it today, and you should get it within a week." So anyway, a week has gone by, and surprise, surprise, nothing has arrived. Now, I'm guessing she did send it through snail mail, so I could be maybe really not, or I could be worried about nothing. It could arrive in the next couple of days, and I don't know. But what happened was that normally when a transaction takes place, there is, you exchange things like a consignment note. So then you can check it online and track it, see where the delivery is at. Well, this person didn't replicate with that, and my mistake. I actually should have asked for it just right there and then, or at least that day when the postage came out. But where my spidey senses started going off is the fact that when I tried to chat with this person online, the chat disappeared. So anyway, I was trying to ping this person just to say, hey, can you send me that tracking number so I can keep an eye on the delivery? So first hint that there was something wrong is that chat had disappeared. Just like I showed you with that person that I pinged before, chat wasn't there. There was no trace of it on my computer, on the messenger app, anywhere, not even on my phone. Then I tried to find the person, and what I found was that person is no longer on Facebook now. I've done a bit of investigation. So normally what that means is that this person has blocked you. So you cannot see them anymore. But then I asked one of my relatives to actually look for this person online. And the name is so common, maybe because it's been used a million times, maybe, that you don't know who it is because you're not friends with the people, so you can't see their photos. You don't know where they live. And so it's really difficult because you really can't find the person. Try to find them by using the city where they lived and no hits. So this account, this chat, has totally disappeared off the face of Facebook, and there is no way I can actually communicate with this person to figure out whether they're legit or not, right? So anyway, to cut a long story short, the one saving grace is that because this person provided me with their banking details, I'm able to go to my bank and dispute it as like a fraudulent transaction. And because this person obviously has a bank account that we can trace, hopefully we can recover that money. And it could take up to 6 months. So lucky it wasn't a lot of money, but anyway, nonetheless, it's something that I've got to be very wary of. Right. And so it seems to be happening. Now, I thought maybe it was something random or, something that was done between people. But one of the things as I start thinking about it as time goes by, I'm getting more and more paranoid because let's imagine this person carried out this transaction before. And what they did is they asked the person buying it to provide ID. Now, this person, this girl, this woman that was selling this thing may have been involved in a scam herself. What I mean by that is that imagine she was buying something online and the person online said, can you give me some ID? And this poor person takes a scanned copy of her passport and sends it to this guy. So now the person that's committing the crime now has committed identity theft, because now they have a name, an address from the passport, and now they can create an account, even using the picture on the passport. And so now they've got a fake Facebook account that they can actually use for more fraudulent. So if I'm the next victim down the line, it means now that I've provided my driver's license, which I have since then cancelled, and I've got a new one issued, means that then someone could be fraudulently using my identity to do the same thing, which is really scary. Obviously, this is very elaborate. It actually is not going on just for things like camera equipment. Today, I was got another feed, another item on my feed, which was a Lego collector's edition Star Destroyer, which I'm, big nerd. They're really expensive, really big, but this person was selling it for like, oh no, this business was selling it for about $25, and I thought, wow, this is crazy. Why would you want to sell something that big for something that cheap? So anyway, once again, I followed the rabbit's hole and I found out that this particular company has a fake website, has fake telephone numbers, has a fake address. They're obviously in Sydney. They're in Australia somewhere because obviously the numbers and the things that they're using are Australian based. But the business doesn't exist. I rang the business and the number doesn't exist. So this is more prevalent than I had originally thought. So the moral of the story today is if you're buying something online and you're not going to pick it up in person and to go and actually collect it, obviously take a friend with you or whatever, but if you're expecting someone to send you something and you don't go through the proper transaction methods, you're going to get caught out like I did. Thankfully, it wasn't a cash transaction, so I got a way to claim. But, cancelling your ID and things like that is a big pain in the backside. So that's the trouble you go through. So the scams are out there, people. Beware. Obviously, my experience is with Facebook Marketplace. I'm not sure it's happening somewhere else. Make sure you don't divulge your private information to anyone. Obviously, Facebook's system is supposed to protect you from having to provide that type of information, and I fell prey. Even someone as experienced as me in the IT industry for a long time, someone's always coming up with a new scam, so you got to be careful. So that's it. Lesson learned. Hopefully I get my money back, but that was a good lesson in trying to find something cheap online, and if seems too good to be true, then it probably is. So I learned my lesson. So that's it. That's my video for today. Hopefully you sort of like this format. I'm trying to play with my little gizmos. I'll give you a view on next time, and that's it. So hopefully you you get something out of it. I know that my hard-earned lesson is going to remind me that's never going to happen to me again, hopefully, and then that's it. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Hope to see you next time, and until the next time, ciao for now.